Brought to you by Almond Auctions, the worldwide leader in antique tractor auctions.
You wouldn't know it driving through this subdivision in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, that just past the cul-de-sac, hidden away in this barn, was a large collection of nicely restored classic tractors. The tractors belonged to collector Don Hershey, who started gathering them up over 25 years ago.
My wife said I had to have a hobby. So I try to do, most guys do what their wives tell them, don't they? Yeah. But she thought I ought to have a different hobby than a tractor hobby. And she started out buying old antique Pennsylvania rifles. So then I started collecting some tractors because I was born in an old mule and soon had a tractor to drive as a kid. And I knew more about them than I did about antique guns and stuff. So I sold my gun collection and collected more tractors. I would expect to have played with them since 1990, had the fun of collecting them, fixing them up, painting them, and maybe I won't make anything, but I don't believe I'll lose much on my hobby. Some people have a hobby of boating that costs you money every weekend. I wanted a hobby that I could have fun, I could touch it. Put money in the stock market, you can't touch it. I only bought tractors when I had a little leftover egg money. And some years I didn't buy any. And some years I bought 5 or 6.
With around 120 tractors, Don's collection includes several rare and unique brands, including a 1953 Farmall WR9 rice tractor, one of about 270 built. A 1955 6-cylinder Shepard Diesel, the only one known, and a rare 1950 Brockway Diesel.
I found that in Westminster, Maryland, looking for parts for a Shepard tractor. It was sitting in the woods covered with bushes down in southwest of Hanover. And when the old guy that owned it died, the widow was selling his stuff, cleaning up his stuff, and she thought maybe that thing was worth something. So she had a friend that said, well, this guy over at Westminster, he deals in equipment, maybe he would buy it. It had a loader on it. So he went down and with his wrecker and got it out and brought it home, and he gave her $100 for it. And he took the loader off and sold that to somebody for $100, and he had the tractor for nothing. So it sat there outside, beat up. I mean, it was in terrible shape, but he wouldn't sell it. He smiled. Maybe, yeah, you just act like maybe he would if I really pushed him real hard. But finally, he told me he was going to have a sale. I bought it to sale for about a fifth of what I offered him for it. But I spent a lot of money getting it running.
The tractor has a 4-cylinder, 30.6 horsepower Continental diesel engine with a working 3-point hitch, headlights, 4-speed forward and reverse, and a road speed of 15 miles an hour. All of these features made the Brockway tractor ahead of its time.
Farmers weren't too much interested in 1950 for diesel tractors, especially little diesel tractors. And he sold the whole tractor trailer load to Mexico, and he went along down to make sure the dealers and the farmers knew how to use it. I was told there wasn't many sold in the U.S. It's the only one I know of. I put an ad in Antique Power, and if anyone knew any others, I give them my address and phone number to let me know, and no one ever called.
For Don, it's more than just collecting and restoring the tractors.
It's part of our history. I mean, I think you need to remember. When Abe Lincoln was president, 85% of the whole population in the United States were ag-related. You know, Little House in the Prairie, an 8-year-old girl knew more than a college graduate does today, so far as being able to knowing what it takes to run a home, preserve food for the winter without freezer and stuff like that. I mean, there was so much more that the modern person learned that we didn't know, but there's a lot that we knew got lost. And I think this keeps from losing it all. It helps to put it together.
Earlier this year, Don decided to sell off his collection at auction. On February 17, 2018, Almond Auctions will sell off his collection in conjunction with the Lebanon Valley Indoor Tractor Expo located in Lebanon Valley, Pennsylvania. Don says he's not overly sentimental about selling his tractors, but there might be one tractor he'll miss. a little Farmall BN.
Dad bought a brand new one in 1943. I was 7 years old, and the following year, he left me work ground with it, get ready to plant corn and stuff. And so from that time on, I was on a little BN. And when I got married in 57, I bought a little farm, about 35 acres, and I needed a tractor some type. And the implement dealer had a used BN sitting there, so I bought it. I still have it. Different people ask, which is your favorite one of all these, you know. Should I say my favorite ones that I think is worth the most? And not necessarily. I mean, but then I'm not, maybe I should be more sentimental than I am. I don't know.
You can see more photos of Don's tractors and details about his upcoming auction at allmanvintagepower.com.